personal preference. You like white dudes?
No.
What the fuck? Oh, this nigga controversial. So, shit. Hold on, bro. So you don't like white boys?
I want a divorce. I don't want to live with MAGA people anymore.
I'm glad you asked this because even though I've dated mostly black guys since I was 15, it is not my sole preference. The only thing that I have like around my preference is that I don't date white guys.
See, it's not that I don't like white guys, it's that I don't like white babies.
Hi there, welcome back to my channel and you're most welcome to today's video. I came across this TikTok where a white woman was saying that I don't date white men, and I was like, what? But the comments also were chaotic. Some people clapping while others in shock, and of course there are some more clips. Other women are also saying that I don't date white boys or white men. Let's watch these clips and then we shall give our views in the comments.
What would you say is your type?
Not white guys, think they're all medium, got to be dark skin.
I see what your flavour is in that. So what, am I your type then?
Yeah.
What, so good enough for you to give me your number, yeah?
Yeah.
Then you gotta chuck me after this.
Yeah, say nothing.
Oh, say less.
Well, the last time I dated a white guy, I ended up waking up in a psych ward. So no shade at all, not opposed to it, but that was my
piece of advice to everybody out there that likes dating men. This is coming from a white girl. Don't trust white guys. Really, seriously. I'm from a huge family of them. I'm the only female cousin. I know these things. I am also the only cousin in my dad's side of the family that is single, never plans to get married, and never plans to have kids. And that's because I don't want to be handcuffed to a guy, especially a white guy, for literally the rest of my life. Even if we break up, he's still gonna have to be there, because there's key. Ew. Don't do it, girl. Just guy, whoever. No, pick anything besides Caucasian. I'm from the inside. I'm from the inner circle, and I know. Don't do it.
White men are the worst. People will act like black women are racist, black men are racist. White men are the worst. White women that date black men, they literally will call us names that I cannot even say on this podcast. It is so frequent. They're jealous because they know
they can't have you type shit.
They know we're not going nowhere.
But it's okay for them to date white guys. Like, we don't care. I don't know why you care about race so much.
Why don't you like white boys no more?
I never liked white boys. I guess it was just like in my soul when I was born.
So you came out the womb not liking white boys?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Friendly reminder, as a white American woman, I will no longer be dating white men. I'm looking for anything other than a white man, okay? Just a heads up.
On behalf of the American white male, we hereby accept your proposal. Thank you for the consideration.
That's also why I don't date white people. I don't agree with their culture. I don't agree with their standards.
Wait, what do you mean you don't agree? You don't date white people because you don't agree with their culture? What do you mean?
Yes, I don't want to be in America. I don't want to be an American. I don't want to be here. I didn't choose to be here.
What do you mean?
I didn't choose to get born. I didn't choose to be born in America by my own parents.
You said that you don't date white people because you don't agree with white people's culture.
Yes, from the men that I have had pursuing me and their families, their backgrounds, what they believe in, I don't agree with.
The last guy you dated, was he white?
Nope.
But
I'll give you a second. Okay, now that they're gone. Okay, so I just need to know how you reject white guys, because I feel so bad when I do it. The other day, this white guy Snapchatted me and he was like, hey, do you want to hang out sometime? And I was like, yeah, sure. Can you send me a picture of you? Because I didn't know who he was. And he sent me a picture and he's white as can be. And I'm like, I can't. I just can't. It's not my fault, okay? So I just didn't answer him, and now he's Snapchatting me 20 times, and I just don't know how to tell him that I will never date him because he's white, and I can't date white guys anymore because I'm so stuck on black guys.
personal preference. You like white dudes?
No.
What the fuck? Oh, this
Wow.
nigga controversial. So,
Hold
shit. Hold on, bro. So you don't like white boys? Oh,
what if Bismarcky?
So
I
Justin
keep them
Bieber.
as a friend.
Yeah.
I keep them as friends
Nah,
or whatever
he's just a
Bismarcky
friend.
said.
Yeah, come on.
So-
We can't
so-
fuck him with classic.
Justin
Hey,
Bieber.
black people,
Justin
we got
Bieber.
nothing to do with that.
Justin
That
Bieber,
was
hold
our
on.
art, man.
Justin
That's like, well, and let's be real. A lot of guys in the game aren't white. They're black or like Hispanic for the most part. But I don't know. It was just that's what I was attracted to, and I feel like, and I'm probably gonna get so much heat for saying this. I feel like I have more in common with. Is this gonna be bad if I say it on here?
Say this shit, man.
I feel like I have more in common with black people than white people, and I'm not saying in the sense. I'm not saying it in the ignorant sense because, like, obviously,
Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin. Yeah.
See, it's not that I don't like white guys, it's that I don't like white babies. And mind you,
So, if you haven't seen this video yet, it's basically this white woman saying she doesn't date white men, not because she doesn't find white men attractive, but because she doesn't want a white baby. She then goes on to say if she were to have a baby and the baby were to come out with white skin, she would abandon said child. And I just want to interject to make it very clear, if you are having a child in hopes of it not coming out a certain skin tone, don't have children. As you can probably tell, this is me. This is a picture of me with my mother. Not only did the ancestry from my dad's side of the family colonize half the entire globe, it colonized my entire genetic code. Much like Schrodinger's cat, you have no idea what color that child will be until it evacuates the womb, and you need to be prepared to love it either way.
I'm glad you asked this because even though I've dated mostly black guys since I was 15, it is not my sole preference. The only thing that I have, like, around my preference is that I don't date white guys. And a lot of people automatically assume, oh, she just dates black. No, like, I will date Asian guys, Hispanic guys, Middle Eastern guys, Indian guys. I will date every other ethnicity besides white. And the deeper that I dig on this, it's definitely childhood trauma. Like, I got made fun of so much in middle school and high school, and I grew up in the white estate, so it was only like white boys bullying me, right? And I think it like subconsciously created this thing where it's like, I just don't fuck with them. My first boyfriend was white, second boyfriend was black, and the way that people treated me when I started dating the black kid, crazy. The things that they said about me, about him, insane. That kid also ended up getting shot and killed, like totally random, was like wrong place, wrong time. And I went to a party that summer, and all of the white boys that were at my school were like, oh, like, what did you expect? Like, he's black and he just deserves. And it's like, that stuck with me so fucking hard. I think that was honestly the turning point where I was like, I'm never fucking with a white guy again. Like, there was just this level of like out of touch with reality, out of touch with what women, like any minority, women, people of color, fucking people with disabilities, like, there was just this, I think, this privilege that I saw in white men, and not all of them, I'm not gonna like lump them all together, but at least the ones that I grew up with, that like, it just completely turned me off. I just could never, it's not to say that I couldn't end up with a white guy, but it's like, now I have a mixed kid, and like, there are just certain values that I want to instill in her that like, I don't know if like a white guy is gonna be able to raise her the way, you know what I mean? Like, now it's just deeper than that. But that's a long answer.
I want a divorce. I don't want to live with MAGA people anymore. I don't think that this is a sustainable model for society. We are never, ever, ever going to see eye to eye about how society should operate, period. I do not know what the solution to this is. But what I do know is that Donald Trump is destroying the structures that glued this country together, honestly, faster, more violently, and better than I think anyone could have ever imagined. So I think the likelihood of the United States continuing as one country is rapidly diminishing right before our eyes. And maybe, in the end, this will do us a favor. Maybe it'll even do the world a favor. Because I think the reality is, we can't live together. We just can't. And frankly, I honestly have no interest in trying to change anyone's mind. If you want to live that way, go for it. If you want to live in a completely reversed reality where no one knows how to read and no one takes any medicine and you all just kill each other over and over again with unmedicated pandemics, that's fine. I don't care what you do at all. I just don't want to be around it anymore. Genuinely.
Yeah, so after watching those clips, what can we say about this? To be honest, people are allowed to have their dating preferences. We have seen conversations like this before, where someone says, I don't date broke men, I don't date short men, or I don't date outside my culture. So technically, saying that I don't date white men falls under the same category of a preference. However, it can sometimes get complicated. When the preference is about race, people start questioning, is it attraction or is it ideology? Because race is social, cultural, and historical. Yeah, people are allowed to have preferences, but it depends on what you base it on. And when these people say, honestly, you see even their explanations, some of them, like, I was just born not liking white men. What is that? She didn't really explain like the real reason behind that. Maybe she wanted to keep it. Yeah, and then also some may say, I don't date a white man because of political reasons or cultural frustrations. Like we have had some of them saying, I don't like the white culture. I don't know what the white culture is, but she just said, I don't like the white culture, the way they do their things. If she had given like a typical example of something that white people do that she doesn't like, but yeah, she knows better. Of course, she was saying that she didn't sign up to be born in the US. She doesn't like living in the US. She doesn't like living among white people. Maybe something happened to her, or she has seen some bad things being done by white people that she is not really opening up about. We have one lady, of course, who is saying that she's divorcing her white husband, who is, of course, MAGA, and that is a political reason. The MAGA husband maybe is not doing anything about some of the bad acts that are being done on people. Maybe when she tries to share with her MAGA husband, who is white, he doesn't seem to be on her side. He doesn't seem to be understanding her, like they are not on the same page. They are always going apart, disagreeing on various things. So that's why she wants to divorce him. So in Western countries, especially in the US, white men are often associated with conservative politics, traditional gender roles, and certain power dynamics. So some women feel like they have dated white men maybe who were emotionally unavailable, dismissive, or entitled. And of course, they associate that kind of behavior with a certain political group. And in this case, where this lady is talking about her MAGA husband, where MAGA is under the Republican Party. Yeah, and then, of course, some women say they are more attracted to other groups of men or other races of men, like the black men or men of other races. But also, rebellion and social media can influence such statements. To be honest, social media amplifies statements like, I don't date white men online. And this gets attention, signifies political alignment, sparks debate, and positions someone as different. So sometimes it's an exaggerated engagement, like where you just drop on someone, maybe walking on the street, and then you ask them, black or white? And if you're a black person asking a white lady about that, sometimes they may automatically say black just to please you. And of course, such statements make rounds on social media. Yeah, then there are those who are talking about, I had more trauma with white boys when I was in school. They used to bully me. They used to not like me because I was fat, because we have heard of such. So past trauma and experience can lead to that. Then also, if say she dated multiple men who were only white, and maybe these men cheated on her, they gaslit her, they were emotionally unavailable, and maybe they made her feel unseen. It can happen because when patterns repeat, the brain goes like, okay, so this is whom these people are, and then you will automatically begin avoiding that kind or group of men. Of course, it's not always logical, but it's just a protective mechanism. And honestly, people of every race do this after undergoing bad experience. So all in all, when a person says that I don't date a certain race, it usually reveals more about their past experiences, their environment, and maybe their emotional history. And with that, I'll end here. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here, or if you haven't yet already. Thank you so much for watching, and let's catch up in the next video.